All right. Hello, hello. Welcome to WordStitch. I am Chloe. I am somewhat solo today until Sandy gets here. She'll be here around 5. In the meantime, it is just me and the brats, as always, hanging out. Um, yeah, let me know what y'all are working on. I have found myself getting a bit behind. So right now I am working on a short story for Medium, which I have started posting on Medium now. It is official. My first short story was posted today. There is a link below to my Medium page. It is smut. It's romance. It's erotic romance. It's sex. So that new project is kicking off, and of course it is dragging me away from all of my other projects. So today I am working on a short story for that, which is already started and mostly done. So I'm hoping that I will finish it in the first 2 sprints, and then I can do a little bit of editing today for I'm sorry. One of my friends just texted me about something I posted on Facebook earlier today. I don't I don't know if y'all saw the rendition of the national anthem performed at CPAC 2 days ago, I believe it was. I try not to judge anybody by their talents, because certainly I don't want anybody to judge me by mine. I I don't know why that person was singing it. If y'all are old enough to remember the controversy that was Roseanne singing the national anthem at, I don't remember what, I think it was a baseball game. It was, I won't say it was on par with that. There were issues with the Roseanne thing that went beyond the fact that she can't sing, and just the fact that she, I don't think she was really trying. This girl was trying and failing terribly. It was nuts. Anyway, so somebody just texted me about that and distracted me. But it was a thing. Oh dear. So we have Spence here today. Spence and I at 7:00 this evening, Eastern time, will be doing my first episode of the Bob Ross Off. It will be on this channel because it's Haley. It will also be on my Twitch channel, and that is where most of them will be. But from 7 to 9 p.m. tonight, Eastern time, if y'all want to watch me and Spence paint a Bob Ross painting, which is technically a Steve Ross painting, his son did a couple episodes, come join us. It'll be fun. And then we've also got Rose here, and Shadow is here. Thank you guys for joining. Let's go ahead and get this first sprint going, and hopefully that will get me a good chunk of this this short story done. But yeah, let me know what y'all are working on as well. We're not going for 20 minutes. We are going for 10, and it is 5 past. So I will see you guys at 1/4 past. Okay, that is time. Let me know how you did. I got rating done. I did not get as far as I wanted to with this. You know what? It's okay. I will definitely finish this on the next pass. And then move on with actual stuff I need to get done. My whole plan on getting that novel out by the end of the month did not happen. And now I have to have one out mid-month. And it's that issue of like, do I put one out just like a week before? Do I wait a few weeks? I don't know. So I figured at this point it would be smarter for me to get all of my like back matter and everything taken care of. So that is, yeah. So instead of like rushing to get this out, I'm going to get everything like up on pre-order and everything so I can have all of my back matter up to date. I had to send a Moby of one of my books yesterday, and I realized I hadn't updated that one since June, and that's like my number one best-selling book. And it's missing a ton of back matter. So it's the smarter plan for me to, instead of rushing to get everything out, make sure that this one book is taken care of that has to be out, and then dealing with the rest later. So during that sprint, Courtney joined us. Hello, Courtney. And Herb joined us. Herb is working on today's blog post. Blog post. I like blog post. I feel like that's what blog posts should be called now, is blog posts. So yeah, I also have a blog that I need to update slightly. At the end of 2020, I did a year in recap thing, and I had to like dig through so much stuff to try to figure out what was going on with my life last year. And so I've got one started that I'm just updating every month. And of course, here we are at the beginning of the month, and I need to update it. Haley forgot to note how many words she had at the start, but she's up to 569 for the day so far. Awesome. I am at 1696 for the day because all that I have worked on today is this short story. And yeah, so that's where I am. Also, as per usual, it's longer than I want. But the first one that I posted, the one that I posted today, was just shy of 1,500, and it ended up being 6 minutes long, which was shorter than I thought it was going to be. That's how Medium is set up. It goes by time, not by word count. And so my estimate was slightly off on that, and that makes me feel better because most of these are longer than 1,500. But like, if I can get them under 10 minutes, I think I'm okay. Longer than I want to be, but okay. Herb is trying to do a post every month on his blog. That is ambitious. I say, coming from somebody who's trying to do 100 short stories in 100 days. But you know, I guess it depends on if you have something to blog about. I don't. I have no idea what to blog about, but like, I can write a short story, especially the ones I'm doing this month have a prompt of a sort to them. It's a challenge this month where I have to pick a trope and a word from a word list. I hate the word list. That's okay. They're just not words that I use, so it's awkward trying to fit them in. They all sound really out of place. But because of that, because I have just that like little bit of guidance, I got this. I have no idea how to do blog posts. And I know that there are things out there that will tell you that there are like blog prompts as well. Here's some topics you can blog about. Maybe I could do that at some point. Not now though, because I have like novels to write and also now short stories to write. So I'm going to continue blogging book recommendations And when I put out new stories, sometime this week, I'll blog about being on Medium and hopefully drum up a little bit more traffic there. But I can't. I've tried too many times to get my blog going, and I just can't do it. I'm just not a blogger. Yeah. So I don't know. How about you guys? We see that Herb's got himself a big challenge for blogging, but what about the rest of you? Who's a blogger here? Who isn't? Who's in the same boat as me that can't blog? Let's see. Shadow finally finished what their spouse wanted them to look over. That is good. So Herb used to be a big blogger. And that's probably part of it. Like, I definitely had a live journal back in the day. And what else? I had a live journal and I had something else. Like, I've had 2 forms of blogs that both failed miserably. I can keep the momentum up maybe for 2 or 3 weeks, if that. But that's it. Yes, Herb live journal. It was a thing. Back in the days of also MySpace. Remember MySpace? I had a killer MySpace because I was really good at CSS. And I said, well, why would anybody want to do Facebook when you can make MySpace pretty? And now I'm like, thank God I don't have to worry about making MySpace pretty, because I'm trying to figure out how to make Medium pretty, and I'm failing miserably at it. I actually effed up on Medium and put a graphic somewhere that I don't want there, and I can't figure out how to remove. Today being the first day actually posting on Medium, that of course took way longer than I thought it was going to, because it turned out I had to set up a bunch of things that I didn't know were set up that I needed to set up already. And that was the biggest headache of it. Let's put a graphic here and see what happens. I don't like this graphic here. I'll put a different graphic here. No, I can't change the graphic. Great. I'm sure there's some way of doing it, but oh, good grief. Herb had 2 live journals. Gotcha. So you had to go to live journal because you were in another group that moved there. I was just there. I have no idea. It was weird. Oh, you know what? I've also had a WordPress. I'm on my 2nd WordPress right now. That was what the other blog was. Back, I used to design cross-stitch patterns as a side gig. And so when I was doing that for that business, I had a blog. And for that, also, it was when I was first getting into cake decorating. So I was posting about that as well. But again, if I didn't come up with a new pattern for a while and I didn't have a cake that I thought to post, then it just sat dormant. And it still is out there, and I still get communications occasionally for people looking for those patterns, and I'm like, who wants these patterns anymore? How are they finding them? Spence is sort of blogging on Medium, still finding her footing on the written work for socials. Blogging has always been something that has had almost 0 return for me. Yes, absolutely, same thing, 0 return for me. Medium, I'm putting short stories on it, so that's a different situation. But I feel like probably most people who share this opinion about blogs also share the opinion that I don't read blogs. I don't like blogs. I get mad at the format a lot of the time. I don't like the I hate when it's recipes. I get why they have to draw out the recipe if they're going to make money off of it, but I hate it. I'll do anything to avoid blogs. Let's see. So Medium, Herb asks how Medium works. Not very well so far. That's okay. Medium's actually been around for a while. It is a paid. I don't know a good way of describing Medium, but it is an article. It is a paid article site. Um, so you don't have to have your stuff behind a paywall. What I'm writing is I just realized I have no idea if that one that I posted today is behind a paywall. Again, things are really confusing with it, and I'm going to check that out on this next break. Anyway, so yeah, you can be behind a paywall. You don't have to be. For readers, they can read up to 3 articles a month for free, and then they have to pay for it. And I believe ostensibly the goal with Medium was for it to be literally articles, as in like, self-help, human interest, whatever, tech stuff. They cover all categories, basically a periodical. But they also host fiction, and they don't have rules against erotica on it. So a lot of erotica writers are there now. So that's the long and short of Medium. It is time for our next sprint. Oh yeah, Shadow, I'm the same way. If I post a recipe, I just post it because no one needs my life story of how I came up with eggnog bread. Yes, I usually will post like a paragraph, and it's literally just because I don't host a recipe blog. So if I do post a recipe on my blog, I'm like, this is why I'm doing it. This was the dumb thing that I did. Go for it. But it's a paragraph. It's, the recipe starts on the main page. Okay. Let's go ahead and do our next sprint. I don't know how I'm by myself and still managed to run long there, but that's okay. We are going to go for 20 minutes this time. I'm going to go see what's going on about if I'm going to make money off that article or not. I'll see you guys in 20. Okay, we are back, and oh Lord, why did that happen? Oh, it's that button. There we go. Sandy's here.
I'm here, kind of. This is not my norm. I'm in like my living room. I have like a baby and a rocker at my feet, which is kind of the norm, but not like this. So,
It's a
um,
different kind of norm.
yeah, this is a like I'm tied to a couch and can do nothing except for like attend the baby. Different, kind of thing. So that's what I'm doing right now to be productive. How did you do in that writing sprint?
I didn't get sidetracked. I just had to do other things in that one, and I got those other things done, and I did a little bit of writing.
Good.
Um, but I'm literally like, it looks like my productivity today is going to be a single short story, which is not even close what I needed to produce today, and that's okay.
I'm glad I made it. Are we talking about Medium today? I hope we're talking about Medium today.
We talked a little bit about Medium.
Hmm.
Yeah, it
What
was
is
just me here, so I was winging it slightly, as I do.
So, did you tell everyone what you're doing on Medium, like the 100 short story thing?
Yes. But I have mentioned that a lot in the show because it's what I've been working on a lot.
And okay, so have you seen any like progress or any profit from that so far? I think that's what all writers want to know, right? Like, how are you?
I've literally just posted my first story about 6 hours ago.
Oh, so like you started writing it, but you've only started posting it recently.
Yes.
Like recently, as in 6 hours ago.
Yes.
That's so when will you know like how they're doing?
Also, okay, so for that, so part of that sprint was me making sure that I actually had my story behind a paywall. Because as I was talking about it, I was like, I don't remember actually doing that. And that's because they have it marked with a really confusing button, which I did click because I was like, this feels like something I should click. But instead of saying, make this pay only or whatever, the phrasing on that button is meter my story so it is eligible to earn money.
Oh,
Yeah,
weird.
there's a lot of weirdness with this. It looks like it should be the most basic thing ever. And a lot of the posts that I see about how to publish on Medium make it sound like it's the most basic thing ever. It's not. I was telling everybody in the last break that I literally have an image on my page that I don't know how to get rid of. Like, I uploaded it to see how the image looked there, and I didn't like it there. So I went to put a new image in, and I can't figure out how to put a new image in
You know, I did
or
like,
remove that one.
yeah, I think I did one article on Medium. It was like, it was a, I don't know, like an infertility article. And I was complaining about a bunch of things. And I remember thinking that it was very difficult to understand how the editor worked. And then I realized it was like too simple for your own good. Like it's got a lot of like random stuff where you might like hover and not know a menu was there until you like gave Medium a second to tell you. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's all I
There's
remember about it. Was like it was too intuitive for its own good.
so if you if you start a new story, you will have a line. It looks very much like WordPress, or I'm sure any other blog thing looks now, where you have like the blocks and you can change the styles for the blocks. For this, like the first block is automatically the title. And with this, you can have images and you can have a subtitle and you can have a kicker, which is the thing that goes above the title that is just like the very basic of like, you say erotic short story or whatever there. So people literally know what they're looking at because it's really hard as the reader to know what you're looking at. Also a problem with Medium. I can't tell if things are like short stories or memoirs or what, like, yeah. If it's an article about like sex stuff, I don't know if it's like their experiences or just a short story they wrote until I'm actually reading it because of how confusing this is. But anyway, so when you start it, you get the title line, and then everything below it is just blank, where the story goes. But if you put a title in, and then below that, your first paragraph, if you change it to basically heading 2, it automatically converts it into the subtitle. And then if you go, like you've already put your title in, and you do a line return, and then right above that, and you make it heading 3 or whatever, it automatically makes it the kicker.
Yeah, those are the kinds of that's exactly what I mean. It's too intuitive for its own good. Like,
and like nowhere does it say it's going to do this.
No.
It just automatically does it. And then of course, if you don't know this and you try to do it later, and then there's also, so because I didn't understand how to put the subtitle in, I'm clicking on like the drop down menu, and there's an option to change the title and subtitle. And I'm like, I guess I just put the subtitle in here. I do that. And then later on, I figure out how to actually put the subtitle in. So I put it in the right spot. Well, now, if you open my article, it has that subtitle that I typed in line with the article. But if you're just looking at the stub for the article, it has that one that I just filled in initially and that drop down menu. Like it didn't automatically change it.
Yeah, that's okay, but you'll have to let us know if you get paid, because that's like that's the most important thing here, right? Like, does this
worthwhile? Yeah. So the payment thing. I'm sorry, you asked me about this and I forgot. So I've had basically nobody has read it. A couple of people have gone to the link, and it actually tells you how long people have read it for. It's a 6-minute story, and so far I'm at like 1 minute and 12 seconds. So nobody has actually read it. That's okay. It says that I have earned 0, which, with Amazon, it literally takes you to the penny on how much you've earned. And like, it's obvious that even though your numbers are tiny, you're still earning itty bitty bits of money. So I was like, I don't really understand what's happening here. So I go, when I was doing all that search for other stuff, I found a thing on how they calculate earnings. It looks like there's 0 calculation done before the end of the month.
Oh, yeah. That's weird.
And, I mean, I feel like it's kind of, if we didn't have the beta dashboard yet and we didn't have book report, it would be that same thing with Amazon, where it just tells you how many page reads you have. If you go to the regular dashboard, you know what I'm talking about. The less fun dashboard on Amazon, the main one, and then above it says, "Do you want to go to beta?" I'm like, yes. I don't know why you're still sending me to this, anyways. So it's like that, where it just kind of tells you how many page reads, and it doesn't give you the conversion. It is. I'm assuming that it is, from the sounds of it, it's something like that. They're just a lot more complicated in how they do that math. There's not a global fund, I don't think. Like it literally goes by like how much people who pay for Medium, each person, how much time they spent with your story over how much they spent total. I don't know. But also I'm not expecting to make that much money off of the first month. So whatever happens now, it is what it is.
I mean, it's an interesting challenge either way, right? Like, and you're getting to know a new platform. So who knows? Maybe it becomes something amazing. There were comments that I totally just like bulldozed over. Do you want to look at them?
Another thing is, if this doesn't work, then I have an anthology, or I can literally just publish a whole bunch of short stories. And
right. Because benefit to this is that Medium does not foreclose you using those same things elsewhere.
No, no, and that's really funny. So, like, I can absolutely put excerpts of my stories that are in Kindle Unlimited on Medium because Kindle Unlimited has a 10% threshold. So, as long as my story, if I take something that's 50,000 words, I can literally post 5,000
Mhm.
in Medium and be perfectly fine. Medium doesn't care if I'm throwing this stuff on my blog or selling it elsewhere or whatever. The only thing that Medium cares about, which I find funny, is that you can't double post on Medium. So, like, there are the publications. Uh,
Hmm.
you can't have the same story in two publications, or you can't have it just like in your depository, whatever they call it, and also in a publication.
I mean, that makes sense though, right? Like, because they don't want to be sending people the same content twice.
I guess. I guess I just thought yes, it just seems like a really funny rule to be a hard and fast rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. After the next break, can we talk about Bridgerton? Have you seen Bridgerton?
I haven't because I don't have time right now. And I recognize it, so I'm refusing to watch it because I don't have time.
Okay, yes, we don't have to talk about the plot line, but we could totally we need to talk about like what inspires you to create stories because it's the kind of show that makes you think like, oh my God, I need to write this.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do our next sprint. Um, I screwed up last time and I did 20 just out of habit. It was supposed to be 25. Obviously, we filled that time okay. But we are going to go for 30 this time, and then we'll have our big 15-minute break. So you guys go get some work done, and we'll see you in a half hour. There we go. There we go. We are back. Sandy is moving around right now. Sandy is on an adventure. Sandy's got a crying baby.
This is us.
Were you able to do anything in that sprint, or have you been dealing with crying baby the whole time?
No, he hasn't been crying until just now.
Good. I finished that short story. Came in at about what, 2,200? Yeah, 2,200. I like it. It's a little long, but also this was the fake marriage trope. And again, like this challenge that I'm doing this month is write these. I think it's actually 24 tropes total, so 24 in 30 days. So that's one of the tropes that I had to write. There was no way out of it, and I have no idea how to make a short fake marriage trope. So I feel good about getting 2,200 out of it. Yeah, and then I compiled Killian and was late getting back into StreamYard because that was the time it took me to open the file in Word. So that is how far I've gotten.
I unloaded my dishwasher, and in one of those like total exhausted anxiety fits, I suddenly felt that my silverware drawer needed to be like organized. And I'm not even joking. Like 10 minutes into that, I found myself organizing forks and thinking like, whoa, how did this happen?
I feel like we've all been there before.
It's we have some relief on the horizon coming. Baby slept through 6 hours last night.
Nice.
So, yeah. So I mean, there is actually some hope here. Also, his surgery has been scheduled for March 23rd. So
that is less than a month away. Oh my goodness.
It's like 3 weeks away. It's yeah. And then that's supposed to be like 7 days in the hospital, and then supposedly a week or so after that, he should be able to start doing normal kid things like tummy time. So our lives could be like dramatically different in a month. And I'm going to take that as like an extended maternity leave and just come back to writing.
Don't even consider it an extended maternity leave. Just consider it a standard or short maternity leave in any other country except this one.
That's a fair point. I mean, it's only been 13 weeks. We're at 13 weeks right now. So like we are just through what they call like the 4th trimester, and that, as far as I can tell, a period of time when you just basically like only sit or stand when you're holding the baby.
Yes.
Or to like sit by like it's all about the baby all of the time. And I know that those of you who are parents are thinking that's how like the rest of your lives are going to be. But don't even lie. I'm sure every parent says that initially. And then like you have other things you do. Like you occasionally say, I don't know, cook dinner. Go get your car washed, shave your legs.
Different set of issues.
Yeah, that's a different set of issues.
But also like there's a bit more sleep. Yeah. Eventually there is that day where you can like push them out of your world for a few hours a day. Not right now, but in a few years when it becomes that time for you, hopefully we will be back to that.
Yeah, I mean there's such a thing as babysitters, I hear. I don't know who does this during COVID, but it's a thing. I understand. And preschool is a thing. But in any case, so let's talk about reasons why we write, because at least for me, that's important right this second. So I'm watching the show Bridgerton. Has anybody seen Bridgerton? I can't see the comments easily. Let's see.
That's okay. Nobody has said that they have yet, but continue on, and we'll see when those comments pop up because I can see the comments.
So Chloe, you're gonna have to watch it. I have not yet finished it, but like as far as I can tell,
will. My
yeah.
time management has just been for shit lately, and I need to fix that before I can get into a show. Also, Haley just said the first few weeks when showering is a rushed luxury for having a baby. Literally, like, I'm not calling Ken's girlfriend out at all, but I don't think she has showered a single time while she is here.
Oh, really? Wow.
Because Ken's shower is terrible. So Ken always uses mine, and she has never once used mine. And normally she's here for like 3 days at a time.
Wow.
Yeah.
I actually don't think I could get away with that. I'd be like covered in like spit up and milk and other things.
Yeah. And Spence says that Bridgerton is on her watch list.
It's if you do any romance at all, like I think it's like the 2021 must see. It's amazing. Are we done eating?
Everything I've heard is great, and I did finally see there was a very funny SNL skit about it the other day,
there was.
which was delightful. SNL is really hit and miss for me, and especially when it's Pete Davidson, right? That's his name. I hate him 90% of the time because he can't land a joke. Like, he laughs at his own jokes and he ruins everything. Anyways, he was in a really good Bridgerton one the other day, but I did finally see the preview for it. And I'm wondering now, no, because you mentioned it before the break, but it's also a fake marriage. So I'm assuming that trope is going to be super hot now. Or is it not a fake marriage? Because from the previews, it looked like it was a fake marriage.
I think there's sort of some fake. Well, I don't know. I'm not through it yet. What I know is that they've done just like a phenomenal job with like developing characters and with like setting up a romance that's so very like you really don't know. You really don't know as like the audience member, are they actually going to end up together? And then like as a writer, I'm thinking to myself, seriously, like if these two don't end up together, like then this show has broken every romance rule ever, and like the community is going to be so incredibly angry. But
I mean, that all comes down to how long they run the show for, right?
Oh yeah, right. Like, it's just going to be
look at like Vampire Diaries and the train wreck that turned into.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that was teen geared, right? Like I feel like this might actually be. Well, I don't know. I have this
because then you look at the one that you hate, Outlander. And they're together throughout, like it's funny with that show because their relationship issues, like everything is external for them. There are no internal issues at all. Every single one of their relationship issues are I'm sorry if you hear that pounding sound. It's the cat piss that he's locked out of my room because he scratched me. Anyways, every single one of their like little tiffs is resolved in an episode. And some of it comes down to like, well, I was pissed at you, so I went to a whorehouse. Like, what?
I stopped reading Outlander when I got to like a scene where the guy was talking about being sexually assaulted and his buddies were like laughing about it. And I felt that was inappropriate, but it's a good example of what I'm talking about here. So like Bridgerton makes me want to write romance. It's beautiful and it's like so well done and it's addictive. Like addictive in that I want to feel this again and again and again and again and again. Like you want to like fall in love with these characters over and over and over again. And I think for me that's what makes me want to write. Outlander, I want to slap the damn characters over and over again. And so
does it make you want to read the books because you know that they're based on books?
Well, it's interesting. So I don't. When I watch it on TV first, like especially a romance, I don't usually want to read the book because I'm I'm often thinking there is no way that the book is going to meet my expectations now, right? Because now I'm going to expect like a particular costume, a particular personality, a particular storyline, and they're often so different, right? But
I so my rule with that, because that is absolutely true, and I probably should read the books before I watched the
yeah,
show for this reason, is you should always start with its shortest form first. Which a movie is going to be a shorter form than a book, and a book is going to be a shorter form than a TV show, just for like all the content that can fit into it. So like with the Harry Potters, if you read, I'm sorry, I mean, go ahead and watch the movies. Like, there's no reason not to watch a movie after you've read the book,
yeah,
but you're always going to learn so much more from the book than you did from the movie. But then when you go
yeah,
to the television show, there's always going to be so much more detail in the TV show than there is in the book. One of the dumbest things I ever did was tried to read the Dexter book before, or excuse me, reading the Dexter book after I watched the first season. And it was so disappointing because there was so little character development. And of course, it makes sense why there's so little character development in the book, but having already watched the show and falling in love with all of these characters, then reading the book, it's so disappointing because you lose all of that in it.
See, sorry, there's lots of noise in
I
my
get
house.
it.
It's my husband is also talking somewhere up there.
Also, Spence did
Um,
say that the first Outlander book does age so poorly, which also I back when I had that tree disaster a few months ago, I read Nora Roberts that I've had since like 1996. I've read it for the first time in probably 20 years, and nothing that was written that long ago ages well.
yeah,
Yeah, like all of that, just like it's progressive because they are gay characters, but also they're the murderers and like shit's weird with like all diversity in it. And then
yeah,
like
yeah,
you said, Sandy, with the way the portrayal of rape when it happens to a man, like it's just not. You can write something like that fair to the time frame without also being offensive to people of modern times. And that
yeah. Like
long ago enough that it has crossed that threshold into being offensive.
right, right. Yeah, no, I mean there's but to the book movie argument, I kind of
Oh,
feel like it
sorry,
goes
I hijacked this conversation into something completely
no,
different.
no, it's fine. I think that goes both ways though. And I'm with you both ways. Like I think with the movie, if you oh wow, so much in the house. If I really care about the book, I read the book first.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And now I'm gonna mute. Um,
Good timing. So let's go ahead and do our final sprint because we are at that time. But also, really quick, in case anybody is planning on dipping during this sprint, again, in an hour at about 7 o'clock Eastern, Haley Spence and I will be doing our Bob Ross off on this channel and also on my Twitch channel. It's going to be aired on both because it's Haley and y'all know Haley, so I felt like it was valid to put it on this channel. So we're going to sprint for 10 minutes, but if you dip out now, that's what's going to be happening in an hour on this channel. So let's see. Let's get this timer up. And we are going to write for 10 minutes. We'll see you guys in 10. That not muted. We're back. That was everything. Were you able to get anything done, Sandy?
Diaper change.
That works.
Yeah, we're down to whimpering instead of crying, so
Yay.
yeah.
I edited maybe 50 words.
That's the whimpering. That is good.
Aw.
I know. I know.
It's an easier sound. Yeah, let me know how y'all did at home. Again, we're gonna that was the end of the sprints, but we are gonna be back in an hour on this channel. I'm gonna be back in an hour with Spence.
I'm gonna turn it on and watch. I'm so jealous that like I can't be involved in this. There's no way I could possibly be involved in this. But like
not right now, but someday.
Yeah, someday.
You'll be able to block out 2.5 hours to paint a Bob Ross painting with me. Or in today's case, a Steve Ross painting.
A Steve Ross painting.
Yeah, this episode, the painting that I decided to do for this one happens to be Bob's son, Steve, who rocks an intense 70s mustache. So I won't, in this show, I will not be like playing the episode because we'll be working at our own paces. So you'll just be seeing our two canvases go. But I probably will start the show with like the first minute of that episode so y'all can see Steve Ross's killer mustache.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome, right, bud?
Oh, God. Haley discovers she's not only a procrastinator, she's an idiot. Did Haley forget that we were doing this today?
Uh-oh.
But yeah, let me know what y'all got done today. If you got stuff done today. I finished that short story. And I at least compiled Killian, if not got any editing done on it. I have grand plans to edit tomorrow, but also like I have to get this damn book cover done for it because I have been procrastinating on that for the last, how long have I been working on that book for? 2 months? Yes, Moonflower, you came in on the last 2 minutes of the stream, but if you like Bob Ross paintings, pop back in an hour. But yeah, I've been struggling to get this cover together for months now and finally have like the images together at least for it. So that'll be tomorrow for me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that by next week I can start writing something again, but we'll see.
I mean, so like what is, before we go, I know this is just the wind down, guys, but like what is going to be your plan for when he's in the hospital? Are you guys going to be getting a place by the hospital again, or are you?
No.
Do you have no idea what you're doing?
Well, no, we do now. We just learned. He will not be in the NICU. He'll be in the PICU. So, yeah, that's right. 12 weeks is old enough to count you as a kid. And yeah, so this is great though because the PICU has like more privacy, and Malcolm and I can both stay with him. Yeah, so we will be with our little guy, who will hopefully have a lot of good pain medications because, you know, sorry. This is,
it's okay.
I better go.
Yeah. So we're gonna go, guys. We'll see you in an hour or so. If you want to pop in on the Bob Ross off. If not, I'll be back here at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning for my Tuesday super early Rise and Right. And I'll be back on Wednesday for my 8 p.m. show. And then Thursday and Friday at 10 a.m. for my gentler Rise and Right, when I can actually rise and also write. So you guys all have a great day and go get some work done. And we will see you later. Bye, guys.